No, she whispered to herself, her voice trembling. I will not let him win. Kunle will pay. The next day, she carried on as though nothing had happened. She smiled at Kunle when he visited, served him his favorite meal, and even gifted him a new pair of shoes. But deep down, she was plotting. Her father may have been a witch doctor, but Ireti had never been interested in his craft. Now, she found herself longing for the power he once wielded. In the dead of night, she opened the old wooden chest her father had left behind. Inside were charms, potions, and tattered pieces of paper filled with mysterious markings. Ireti had always thought these tools were meaningless, but now, they seemed alive, whispering to her, calling to her. Even Jesus cannot help you, Kunle. She heaved a sigh. Her transformation had begun. It was noon in St. Obi Street, and the bustling village came alive with its usual sounds, motor horns, the cries of hawkers selling fried plantains and pure water, and the constant chatter of restless crowds. Kunle, sharp-dressed in freshly ironed clothes, sauntered into a small restaurant at Thunder Roundabout, wearing the smug smile of a man who had just conquered his latest target. He spotted Ireti sitting at a corner table, her face glowing with hope and innocent joy. She had fallen for him, hook, line, and sinker, just as he had planned. Kunle chuckled softly to himself. He was indeed the king of the game, a smooth talker with a devilish charm, the kind of man no woman could resist. Or so he thought. Ireti was nothing like the city girls Kunle usually pursued. She was simple, respectful, and quiet, a good girl, as people would say. To Kunle, that was precisely her problem. He found her dull, but the challenge of breaking her innocence had thrilled him. And now, it was time to end things. Kunle strolled up to her table, his cologne clouding the air. Ireti's face lit up as she saw him, her smile like the shining sun after heavy rain. I've missed you, Kunle, she said softly, her eyes sparkling. Kunle pulled out a chair and sat down, his posture dripping with arrogance. Ireti, I came to see you because we need to talk. Her heart skipped a beat. His tone was cold, unfamiliar. Something was wrong. What's the matter? She asked, leaning forward, searching his eyes for answers. Kunle leaned back casually, crossing his arms. See, Ireti, I beg no vex, but I think we should end this thing between us. Ireti froze. What? She whispered, her voice trembling. Where's this coming from? But I thought you said you love me, Kunle. I really love you too. Kunle smirked. He was enjoying her reaction. Ireti, I beg, love kill you there. Love? Who told you I was serious about you? I just wanted to have fun. Idon do a beg. Let's press stop and eject. RCD2 dung crack. The world around Ireti seemed to shatter into pieces. Her lips parted, but no words came out. Her chest felt tight, as though she couldn't breathe. Then, slowly, the shock dissolved into something darker, anger, rage, betrayal. Kunle, she said through gritted teeth, her voice low and cold, tell me it wasn't all a lie. Tell me you love me. But Kunle, shameless and arrogant, burst into laughter. Ireti, babe, I beg, carry your wahala go. Love? I don't have your time. Do you know how many girls are waiting for me? I beg, get over yourself. Ireti's hands, resting on the table, clenched into fists. Her stomach churned with a mixture of pain and fury, but something deeper stirred inside her, a force she could not explain. She stared at Kunle, her eyes dark and unblinking. Kunle, she said, her voice now a chilling whisper, you chased after me, not for love, but for lust. You broke my trust. You treated me like nothing. And so, Kunle, hear me well, the same way you pursued me is the same way women of all kinds will chase after you, not out of love, but out of lust. From this day on, your life will never be the same. Kunle scoffed. See this witch? I beg, go and rest. I don't have time for your Nollywood drama. But as Kunle stood to leave, a sudden gust of wind rushed through the small restaurant, rattling chairs and making the curtains flutter violently. The air grew heavy, almost suffocating, like the moment before a thunderstorm. For a brief second, Iri's eyes seemed to glow, but Kunle dismissed it as a trick of the light. He walked out of the restaurant, laughing to himself. Curse? Witch? Nonsense. He had no idea how wrong he was. That night, Kunle lay on his expensive king-sized bed, scrolling through his phone. It was a typical evening for him, checking Instagram DMs and replying to the flirty messages his many admirers sent him. He had no shortage of attention, women adored him, and he enjoyed every moment of it. But as the clock struck midnight, the first call came. It was Fumi, a girl he had stopped talking to months ago. He frowned. Why was she calling him now? Out of curiosity, he picked up. Kunle, Fumi sobbed on the other end, her voice shaky and desperate. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't stop thinking about you. Please, I need to see you. Kunle laughed. Ah, Fumi, it's been months. Why are you disturbing me at this hour? But before he could finish, his phone buzzed again, another incoming call. This time, it was from Charie, a girl who had blocked him after he cheated on her. Then another call came in. And another. And another. By 1 a.m., his phone was flooded with calls and messages, all from women he had dated, ghosted, or manipulated in the past. Some begged him to take them back, others declared undying love for him, and a few even threatened to come to his house. Kunle was amused at first, but as the calls became more frantic, he began to feel uneasy. What kind of madness is this? He muttered, switching off his phone. But the night's terror was only beginning. The next morning, Kunle woke up to the sound of his mother calling him from the living room. Kunle! Come out here, she shouted. Kunle groaned and rolled out of bed. What is it this early in the morning? He grumbled. As he stepped into the living room, he froze. Standing next to his mother was his younger sister, Tola. But something was off. The way they looked at him, hungrily, almost predatorily, sent shivers down his spine. Kunle, his mother said, her voice softer now, almost flirtatious, you're looking very handsome today. Kunle blinked. Mama, are you okay? Tola giggled, twirling a strand of her hair. Brother Kunle, you've never looked so fine before. Don't you think I'm beautiful too? She struck a pose. Kunle stumbled backward, his heart racing. What's wrong with you people? Stop saying nonsense. His mother reached out to touch his cheek, but he slapped her hand away and bolted out of the house. Kunle ran to his office, hoping to escape the madness at home. But when he arrived, the nightmare only deepened. His female colleagues crowded around him, batting their eyelashes and complimenting him in ways that made his skin crawl. Even his boss, a woman old enough to be his grandmother, smiled seductively at him. Kunle, she purred, leaning close to him in her tight-fitting suit, her breast scrubbing the tip of his nose. I've always admired your skills. Maybe we can discuss a promotion over dinner? Kunle's eyes widened in terror. Madam. Control yourself. But there was no escape. Wherever he went, women followed him on the streets, at the bus stop, even at church. And then, to his ultimate horror, men started joining in. It was at the mall that he encountered Guy, the infamous Lagos crossdresser who was known for his flamboyant outfits and bold personality. Guy spotted Kunle from across the room and sashayed toward him, blowing kisses. Kunle baby, Guy purred, give me a taste. Kunle screamed and bolted, his heart pounding like a drum. He ran out of the mall, his legs carrying him straight back to his house. Whatever was happening wasn't natural. It was a curse, he was sure of it. But how could he stop it? Kunle locked himself in his bedroom, pacing back and forth as he tried to make sense of the chaos that had become his life. Then, suddenly, Iri's voice echoed in his mind, your life will never be the same. He froze. This was her doing. It had to be. But how? Desperate, Kunle decided to visit Baba Tunde, a well-known herbalist in his village. Kunle wasn't the type to believe in juju or curses, but after the past 2 days, he was ready to believe anything. Baba Tunde listened quietly as Kunle narrated his ordeal. When Kunle finished, the old man nodded slowly. You wronged someone powerful, someone with the spirit of vengeance. This curse will not leave you until you right your wrongs. Kunle swallowed hard. What must I do? The woman you hurt, go to her. Beg for her forgiveness. If her heart softens and she releases you, only then will the curse be lifted. Kunle returned to Saint Obi, his mind racing. He didn't want to face Ireti, but he had no choice. He found her at the same restaurant where it had all begun. She was sitting in the same corner, sipping a cup of ginger and lemon tea, her face calm and unreadable. Ireti, Kunle said, falling to his knees before her, please, I'm sorry. Forgive me. She looked at him, her expression cold. Is that what you came to say? Kunle's voice cracked. Please, I can't live like this anymore. Ireti leaned forward, her eyes boring into his soul. You broke my heart, Kunle. You treated me like dirt, and now you're paying the price. Tell me, do you deserve forgiveness? Kunle's lips trembled. He didn't know what to say. For a long moment, silence hung between them.
Thank you for watching to the very end. Congratulations, you've unlocked your chance to win our prize. To enter, simply leave a comment below. 1. Start with the name of your favorite character from this story. 2. Tell us where you're watching from. 3. And share at least one lesson you've learned from this story. The comment with the most likes and replies by 4 p.m. GMT tomorrow will be our winner. Get commenting and good luck. I'll see you again on our next story. Until then, stay bookie bookie.